First of all, I would like to we are representing Mahindra & Mahindra Auto and Farm Sector Division. We will be showcasing our journey towards the low-cost automation. Precisely, we are going to touch the low-cost automation sector. There are selective case studies which will be benefiting other industries that we are focusing on, and affordable digital technologies. So that is our agenda for today's presentation. With me, there is my team, Mahindra & Mahindra team. So Mr. Uma Shankar and Mr. Sridhar has also joined this session. So we are representing Mahindra & Mahindra panel. So our subject for today is low-cost automation and affordable digital technologies that we are touching upon. And we are having our manufacturing units present in Telangana state at Hyderabad, both auto and farm division. So most of the case studies are from that only. This is the overview of Mahindra Group. We are having presence in 11 sectors, 150 plus companies, 100 plus countries. Particularly, we are today focusing on farm and automotive division. Perhaps we are the one and only who are manufacturing two-wheeler and 20-wheeler, both the things under auto and farm divisions. This is our global footprint. We are present in multiple countries. Our R&D centers are there in multiple countries and also manufacturing. This is our product portfolio at Hyderabad plant in Telangana specifically. So we have recently launched 2 new products in auto also and farm also. Both are our techno-savvy products. One is EV related commercial vehicle, and then our all new Take Pack ready tractor, which are going to be which are launched at global platforms, and that will be having many new features introduced first time in the tractor industry. So these are different 7 models which are introduced through OJA. That has been recently launched on 15th of August. Focusing on to our journey as a Mahindra and Auto Farm sector, this is our journey toward digitalization. So we have started with our strategy and our program formation since 2016-17, and this is the way we have moved ahead. So we have focused on multiple themes like IoT, robotics, digital operations, which will be coming forward into this presentation. All this has been integrated in our own customized MES platform, which are called as Dona. So why technology? So these are the challenges which industry is facing nowadays. So increasing model complexity, improve competitiveness in the market. To survive in the market, we have to improve all these parameters. We have to go through this complexity of the models and yet maintain our margins. So for doing that, we have adopted the different approach. We have simplicity, customer centricity, process robustness, flexibility. These are we have adopted into our approach, and working on these initiatives, we have formed our case studies, which we are going to showcase with you. So these are the major themes: low cost automation, digitized operations, IoT, and new technologies. I will skip this slide because this is going to be covered in future. Okay, in low cost automation, we are going to present a few case studies. So this is our main drive, no fault forward. So whatever we are manufacturing on the particular station, that has to be first time right, and there should not be any fault going forward to the inspection. So based on that things, we have showcased few of the case studies. This is our one of the case studies in which we have addressed near about 400 plus failure modes, and from those failure modes we have categorized them into 4 different buckets in our assembly operations, like torquing, part missing, wrong assembly, similar looking part. These are the areas which need to be addressed for covering major failures in the processes. So these areas we have addressed to basically we are having both legacy of operations. There are old plants which are running on the manual operation. So we have gone for the requirement based, need based digital solutions on those stages. So that we are focusing. So these are few of the examples which we have done at our plants. So for torque missing, there are legacy tools which are pneumatically operated. So this has been fitted with some electronic and IoT based devices to control the torque and specification. to meet the requirements that we are addressing this with the first part missing case study. The second is part missing, in which we are going for the multiple type of sensors, right from proximity sensors, inductive based sensors, laser sensors, to vision sensors. So depending on the requirement, we are adopting this sensor technologies to detect the part missing particular part missing area. Then in wrong assembly, we are also, this is one of the case study in which we have used the laser based sensor, so that we will know that the part orientation is right and there is no wrong assembly being made on the particular stage. Then similar looking parts for this, we have also used different vision technologies. So at the low cost area, we have used the color based sensing, so that we will identify that the part is right or wrongly assembled. This is one of the video which will showcase you how we have modified the stage for no fault forward. This is the piston and ring assembly. After this assembly, this part has been checked for multiple parameters before going forward with different technologies, right from scanning, from vision sensing, sensor based sensing. అంటే ఎందుకంటే నేను ఉన్నాను ఇందుదానికి ఐటీపీఎల్కి టీమ్ అని ఉన్నారు సో ఐపీఎల్సి కూడా టీమ్ ఉంటారు once it passes through all these parameters, then only the part will go forward. So we are ensuring that whatever we are producing on the stage, at that stage only it will be
దానికి మెసేజ్
so these are the benefits of it. 100% built-in quality, that is a focus area. This is one of the case study of spot missing concern, in which the operator actually do the welding job on the station, and many a times the operator misses the spot. So this particular case study is focusing on some small electronic devices which are fitted inside the controllers, and those are connected with the assembly fixture, so that unless and until the required spots has been taken, the assembly will not get dismantled from that particular fixture. So this is the basically case study. This is a small representation of the process. Once the operator will finish the entire spotting, then only the part will get disassembled from the stage. Then these are the weld spot counters. So many times many assemblies have different models, and with respect to different model, these are different spot weld configurations. So with respect to that, it is a complex operation for operator to remember all these spots. So we have integrated this particular spot counter with different models, so that whenever the particular model get assembled on the fixture, that particular model spot counter will be activated, and unless and until operator weld those many spots, it will not get disassembled from the fixtures. This is to address the model complexity that is getting added into the portfolios. So once the required spot has been reached, then only the fixture will get declamped. So the benefits of this has again no fault forward, so 100% built-in quality. This is one of the case study for IoT. This particular case study, nowadays we are having a lot of technologies available inside the tools, where we can connect the tools with the softwares, and we can have the data for the traceability. But this particular case study is focusing on the legacy tools, which we have modified for getting right specification of product and process specification, and then this data is getting logged into the software and it is represented on the dashboard. This is with the very few thousands of amount we have done it inside our plant. This is a basically a dashboard which represents different docking status of the tools, and with respect to particular model number or particular tractor number, you can basically have this data available with you, so to know that the process has been done right. This is small video for that. In new technology, we are actually now focusing more on vision-based systems. Wherever the sensors will not work, so we are focusing to go for vision-based systems. And also at new production lines, we are also focusing to address critical stations with robots and cobots. So this is one of the examples which we are working in Zairabad plant only. So this is cabin assembly line. So in which the electrical testing of different lights and different indicators are being done by the vision cameras. So this cabin is being tested by cameras, and the data has been stored into the softwares for future traceability. So with robots and cobots, we in Mahindra as entire AFS, we are having 500 plus robots, 50 plus cobot installed. So whatever new lines are getting installed, on which we are also focusing to go for critical operations like hemming, sealant, and then painting. For those things we are choosing the critical operations, and we are selective in our approach to go for the robotics and entire automation. This is one of the video of painting robots facility installed at Hyderabad. This is a similar application process done by cobots. So these are the initiatives, or I can say automations, which are helping us to make a first time right product and no fault forward. As I told you in my first slide, this is our MES platform. This is manufacturing execution system. This is customized, developed for our operations. We call it as a drona. So this we use for connecting our different operations together. Like in our company, we are having a different set of operation, right from sales side order till the dispatch. So to have the entire visibility of the processes and to swift decision making, and also to manage the operations digitally and also effectively, this platform has been developed. So many of the tools like process data, many of the plug data, as well as the operation data has been logged onto this platform. And from this, we are having a visibility of entire process and what is going right or what is going wrong into the operations. So I will leave you with, this is my last slide I think, and I will leave you with small AV after this. So 2-3 minutes AV is there. It is self-explanatory. You can easily understand. Thank you. Thank you, Tushar. It's very heartening to see the automation right in our neighborhood, Zahirabad. I would urge members here, if there's any opportunity to visit the plant, which M&M has been encouraging us to visit the plant every year. I've done that, and it's a great learning experience. And to see all the automation happening from our own Indian company, I think it fills my heart. Thank you, Tushar. We will have the Q&A at the end, the other two speakers completing their talk. We are allocating good amount of time because the subjects are very interesting. I'm sure there are many queries from the audience here. I request our next speaker, Mr. Karthik Chittapu, who is the Director, Customer Excellence from CAD-FEM, India.
Hello, Shiva. Hello, sir. And how are you? I'm great, sir. How are you?
First of all, thanks for inviting me for this conference, and it's my pleasure to give a small update on what are the new technologies or digital engineering in terms of simulations. Okay, can you go to the first slide, please? Yeah. So I come from a company called CAD-FEM, and I think the name itself says much about digitalization, right? So it's the CAD, which is a virtual designing of yours, and there's the FEM, which is a virtual simulation of your products. How many of you are doing a product development using simulations here? Okay, only 3 hands I see. Okay. I think we'll see why it is so important for MSMEs, to do a simulation-driven product development. And we also talk about a digital engineering in a very broader sense, not only just in terms of product development, starting from the conceptual phase to the in-product phase, where we are talking about ADAS, digital twins, and other things. Okay. So, just a brief intro of our company. CAD-FEM is basically a global company, which is our parent company is in Germany, and in India we started in 2007. So what we are majorly into is, we actually are one of the largest producers of simulation technologies in the world. Okay. Along with it, we also kind of have 40 years of experience in terms of rapid product development and also innovating for a lot of our customers. Especially we deal with a lot of MSMEs in both India as well as Germany, Southeast Asia, and all other countries. And also we deal with a lot of bigger customers, starting with like Bosch or let's say Grundfos and other companies too. Okay. And the major advantage what we have as a company, a group, is because of a global presence, we could develop an expertise in different physics, because simulations, when you talk about it, or digital engineering, when you talk about it, it's no more one single engineering or one single physics for that sake. So we have a vast range of physics which we are dealing with, starting with the structures. We talk about CFD, we talk about electromagnetics part of it, both high frequency, low frequency. Like low frequency when I talk about like motors and all. When I talk about high frequency, I'm talking about PCB boards, radars, and then we are talking about optics, where you are talking about lidars, laser weapons or optics lenses and everything, right? And then we are talking about embedded systems and also the functional safety and cyber security of your products. That's becoming very much important nowadays, because of a lot of OEMs are asking for to make sure that your product is, because you have a software and it should not be hacked, right? So the cyber security becomes very, very important for all your products when you're offering it to your customers, right? So all this comes into picture, and those all things we can simulate and test and virtually test them and get a much more insight into all of this. So about us in India, I think as I said, we started in 2007. Our parent company is in Hyderabad. It's hardly a few hundred meters from here. But we also have offices wide across India in 7 different locations: Bangalore, Chennai, Pune, Delhi, Coimbatore, and Ahmedabad. Okay. So we have a wide range of expertise. So we deal with, in India itself, we have around 300 plus customers, and majority of them are MSMEs. Okay. So for us, digital engineering is very, very important. So we start with the centric of customer, where customer wants to innovate, make their products more efficient, and also reduce the cost of their products, right? So when that is what they want to do, the first thing what they want to do is how to adopt the simulation. Okay, that's the first step. How can they use simulations to drive their innovation or drive their product? Second thing is to automate the simulation itself, so that you can democratize it across the users, and you can make it much more user friendly, because doing simulation is one front, and making user friendly and because a lot of people are talking about the skill gaps and all, right? So to overcome that, we can also automate it and actually make it much more the button click solutions, where you can do your simulations, especially when you're talking about sectors like non-traditional engineering sectors like pharma, where they are using simulations nowadays. They want to go in silico instead of in vivo and in vitro, right? So when you're talking about in silico, that is something which they are adopting nowadays, and they want to do simulations upfront to understand how the mixing is happening, how your stunts you are manufacturing are going to work, what's the life of those stunts, or if you are doing a hip implants, you want to have a customer-centric data, which is very specific to each and every customer. You get the scan data, and based on the scan data, you want to actually do an implant using additive manufacturing or different manufacturing techniques. Right? So when these people who are coming from other backgrounds wants to do simulations, the automations become very, very, very important. And then over that, the top circle really talks about the digital engineering part of it, where we offer services to customer, because selling a software or offering a software to the customer is not the end thing, right? That will not lead to the success for the customer. So it becomes very important for us to integrate the software solutions along with the services, along with the knowledge transfer and the training sessions and everything. So that is where we really built on IT infrastructure. So we offer the hardware to the customer, which is very simulation centric. I'm not talking about just the IT hardware, but for simulation itself, we need to customize the hardware so that it can run very efficiently. Then we are talking about the knowledge, what they have to build. The major challenge what you're facing nowadays is to get the core engineers, because a lot of colleges are dropping the core engineering courses out of their curriculums, and it's becoming very problematic to get skilled engineers for your simulation purpose. And that's what we want to also bridge a gap. Okay, so today's topic, we majorly talk about the digital engineering part of it for MSMEs, and this is very, very important, because the MSMEs are the key lever for the India 5 million economy, right? So we are the 30% contributor for our GDP, and 42% of our exports, right? That's what people were talking this morning, and that is very important to concentrate upon this sector, and how we can enable the MSME sector to kind of adopt that digital engineering for them. Okay. So the main challenges is for all the industry sectors is to drive the innovation, complexities, because you're not dealing with one single physics now, you have the interconnectivity between different things, and now you're talking about industry 4.0, where you are talking about the automation, where we have a lot of sensor data coming in, you have a lot of lens, LiDAR is there, because the camera has to see it, get the data, and based on the data, let's say you have an ADAS system. Based on the LiDAR in your car, your autonomous vehicle has to perform. If a person comes in front of you, based on the LiDAR sensor, it has to take the signal, capture it, and based on that, it has to apply a certain force on your brake so that it stops at a safe distance from the person, right? So this all becomes very complex, and we are really talking about connections between different systems and different physics here. That has become a huge problem. Then the cycle time. With so much of innovation going on, so much of competition, the cycle time to the market has come down drastically. Previously, maybe people used to take maybe 8 years, 5 years to develop a car to come out. Now they're coming down to 3 years to develop a car and coming out into the market, right? So thus times are coming down drastically, and the innovation and the complexity is going up. Okay, so right now in the industry there are two interesting things happening. One is the technology is really helping you to reduce the development time. The second thing is the destructive part of it. The simulation, the technologies are becoming so and so advanced. You know, your present models, present things are becoming obsolete, right? It's no more make sense. So when you want to really talk about leveraging the advanced technology which is developing day in and day out, and to leverage your legacy technology, you know, for them to have a proper marriage between them, you need to have a digital engineering. Otherwise, there's no other way you can take it forward, right? So to actually reduce the cost, increase the quality, and evaluate the risk, we need the simulations, and there's no other way to move forward. Okay? So this is one of the survey which happened in US. So they want to see, you know, with simulations and without simulations, what is the difference? And you can clearly see 21% improvement with simulations to, you know, to launch the, you know, time to market. 22% they could meet the targets. 17% increase in the quality also. So these are the important driving factors for any MSME, right? So these are three things what you want to look at and make sure that your product is coming out in market in a given time frame, and you are also with a low cost. So how do we get it right in the first, early itself? That is very important, because most of your cost is decided in the initial phase itself, before even you start simulation. Where in the conceptual phase you have something, and like 85% of your cost is decided in the initial phases. So if you want to make some changes, the influence of these changes will be much less in the later stages. But in the early stages, if you want to make some changes, you have much scope and you can improve it, and the effect of it is much more wider reach. Okay? And with the traditional techniques where you're pushing your design to the end and doing a prototyping and going for testing, and if something is not working, coming back, this is going to take a lot of time and a lot of cycles, right? So what you want to do is you want to implement the simulations in the first phase itself, so that you can understand your product much better, optimize it, innovate it, and then you can reduce the cost and everything. And then once you finalize your design, then you can go for your prototyping, you know, which when you are much more confident that it's going to pass and go forward, right? Nowadays simulations are becoming so realistic that people want to reduce testing drastically, you know, just to one test, maybe two tests at the end of it. But most of the times they want to avoid the completely and take simulation as a benchmark. And I think a lot of the defense sectors are also asking their suppliers to submit the simulation reports, right? That is becoming much more important nowadays. And I think a lot of the OEMs, automotive OEMs, aerospace OEMs are also asking you for these reports to be submitted, so that, you know, you can make sure that your product is compliant to their requirement and everything. Okay, so that is what I was talking about, the virtual prototyping and simulation based product development. Okay, so there are three important technologies out of the 10 for digital engineering which are actually disrupting or help the industry to move forward. I think the first one is the AI ML. That is something one of the dignitaries is going to talk about it in the next session. But the next one is additive manufacturing. I think this is one of the technology a lot of people are using nowadays to do the prototyping, or also taking it to the next level of mass production, you know. So the reason why additive manufacturing has become more popular is because it can manufacture any kind of complex shapes, and you can actually make lightweighting much more possible, right? But it has its own problems. I think this is not a platform to discuss about it. We can take it later. And the third one is the simulation front, where you can see a lot of people are saying the simulation is very, very important, right? So I think let's see how the simulations developed. I think in 1970s, simulation was only for academics. They were doing a lot of research and they were developing. That's fine. Next 85 to 2000, having no simulation, it's still okay. It's normal. A lot of people are not doing simulations. In 2000 to 2015, simulation has become a normal. A lot of people started using simulation. It's still not a compulsion, but still a lot of people have started doing it. As you can see the examples here, you can see it in the optics field, you can see it in the sensor field, you can see in amphibian mobility services here, oil and gas, other sectors where simulations were not traditionally used. It has moved into that. In 2015-20, no simulation is not normal. So people felt that, okay, you're not doing simulation still, you should start doing it now. I think as you can see, the technology of IoTs, 5Gs, electrification, ADAS and all actually has pushed simulations. As you can see here, we are doing a signal integrity problem here to generate what are the losses, what are the temperature generated because of that, and then see the thermal and cooling part of it. And then we are talking about, because of the thermal cooling and all, how the soldering is working. And if these are failing, your component is going to fail, right? So you can see 3 different physics combined together, and you need simulations for that. Not only that, we are also talking about crosstalks between 2 different devices, because nowadays, IoTs have become so much. We have, Bluetooth everywhere right nowadays, right? So there should not be a cross connection between them, how they are kind of working. All these things can be tested in simulations. Okay, and e-mobility, I think this is where a huge chunk of MSME customers are supplying to this, where they're talking about motors, batteries, the charging systems, So the motors have become very important, and we have a lot of motor customers itself in India whom we are dealing with, who are using our softwares to develop their motors and innovate with respect to characteristics of the motor, improving efficiency. The noise has become much more problematic because sustainability and environmental norms have become much more stringent nowadays, right? And the fatigue failure of it. The first thing is to get the efficiency map of the motor for different, frequency rotations and all. Then we are talking about the noise levels. When we are talking about different frequency with respect to different RPMs, where the noise levels are, how is it generated, and everything. So this, because all of our OEMs are actually concentrating on this and keep asking us how we can do NVS simulations for our motors and everything. The same thing with the chargers, the same thing with the batteries. The batteries are much more problematic because you have to do the, thermal runoff tests, because a lot of blast, fire is going to happen because of batteries nowadays, and this is becoming more problematic. And the battery management system has become very complex, and that is very important to be handled. So you need to do a system simulations to understand that part of it, right? And you need to have an IoT platform to sense a lot of, if you are talking about Ola, Ether nowadays, you have a lot of performance monitoring systems where you can monitor how your battery is performing, how many kilometers it's going to give more, and a lot of other things, right? So this is where the technology is being driven to, and it can adopt it so that, based on the performance of your batteries, it can automatically adopt and make sure that your battery efficiency is pushed forward, right? And make it more efficient and efficient. We are talking about the manufacturing sector, where you want to, just manufacture this kind of structures, where you can go with additive manufacturing, where you can get this kind of complex shapes, which can be manufactured with additive manufacturing like this, and we can see better, cheaper, and faster you can get it. With less volume and mass, you can increase your stiffness of your structures. That becomes very important. We're talking about medical. This is a very simple example where you have a, you want to have a kind of make sure that your teeth are properly aligned, and you go to a dentist, right? That becomes very important. Your space is not symmetric, but the loads they apply internally are symmetric. And they need to understand what forces should they apply so that your teeth are properly aligned, so that you don't have this distorted figure in your after the whole teeth are aligned properly, right? So this becomes very important to be tested. So you can do simulations for that front also, where you can take the customer specific data and do the simulations and understand what kind of force you have to apply and which positions you have to apply, so that you can get a proper job alignment, right? We are doing it for, we have our own wing of medical, for medicine. We do a lot of simulations for doctors, for, plastic surgeries and other surgeries, so that, people can use simulations for that front. Okay. And now in 2020s and moving forward, the simulation is becoming a must. As I said, a lot of customers are asking for it, OEMs are asking for it. Starting with a simple example like this, bottles, it becomes very, very important. We have a huge customer whom we actually do a lot of simulations and a lot of automation for the bottle suppliers itself, where they want to see what is the buckling force, manufacturing of the bottle, sustainability of the bottle, environmental effect. They want to reduce the plastic usage. All these things are coming into picture. So you can see there is a structural problem, there is a molding problem, a manufacturing problem, there is a thermal, there is a cost influence. So you want to see different physics combined together. You can combine all them in a workflow and then do a simulations to understand what would be the best design, best settings of your manufacturing, so that your cost can be reduced starting from the material to the manufacturing itself. Okay. So with digital engineering, you can see the traditional technique, you take 50 months to develop your product, that can be got down to 36 months or even less as you move forward and make improvements in your processes. Okay. So with that, I'll come to the product side of it, where ANSYS is leading in this part of it. ANSYS is a tool what we are using in the background to do the simulations for each and every physics. ANSYS is leading in terms of every physics what you deal with, whether it's structures, electrical, CFD, optics, you name it. We are the leaders in all the physics, and we deal only with the simulations. We are not into any PLM or any CAD or anything. We purely do on the simulation. That is our core bread and butter, and that's where we concentrate upon. And as you can see, as you can see, we are dealing with the physics in the bottom. As you move up, it's becoming more and more complex. We are talking about system software. We are doing a system level simulations. Then you are talking about system of systems. This is where defense sector is talking about. Now they have a satellite, they have a radar, there is a flight, moving, or missile coming in, the projectile and all. So they want to have a communication between system of systems, and they want to actually simulate this kind of war scenario to see what is happening. Let's say there's a missile coming in, they want to shoot a laser to destroy it, right? So at what time they have to shoot it, and what, how much intensity they have to shoot so that the missile can be destroyed. All these things have to work together, the systems have to work together and can lead to this, right? So this becomes very important for us to take it to that level of it, and then you can see the solutions and the industries on the top of it. So traditionally we are talking about previously the simulations are only used in the design phase, optimization phase. That is fine, we are not using it in the requirements concept, preliminary design or any other phases. But as we move forward, as the requirements move forward, it's becoming more and more complex, and we can't work anymore in silos, right? So we need to, when we are talking about interdependency on the different departments, and we can't move forward and backward, and we can't just maintain it over a paper and kind of communicate it over just the documents. We need to have a proper models which we can communicate with in each stage and make it digital thread like this, which is much more convenient for the customers to develop it and move forward, right? So the first level is the virtual simulations, what we talk about. Then we are also actually moving to the next level, which is called digital engineering, where we have a lot of other things involved, not only just for the design phase itself, to the whole development phase, from the inception, product requirements to the end phase of it, So this is the V model, what we talk about the product development. So we have the, just to go back, we have the first one is the requirements, then we have the system, subsystem level, and then the bottom is where traditionally people used to use simulations, where is the component level of it. But nowadays it's no more like that. We start with the requirements, we generate the models with the requirement. So we have the model-based system starting from 1. So we have the models with the requirement level, we can take it to the system level, then get all your requirements for the system level and check them. Then go to the next level, which is the subsystem. Once you cross the subsystem, you go to the individual component level, where you work in the silos on different physics. Again, you integrate them in the subsystem level, validate it, take to the system level, integrate with your software, everything, check whether it's compliant with your ISO standards and everything. And then you take it to the next level, which is again the system of system levels or digital twins in product. How many of you heard about digital twins? So I think it's a very fancy word people are talking about nowadays, the digital twin, and this, I can just tell you very simple, people can say digital twin as a CAD itself is a digital twin, because it's virtually you're representing something, it's called a digital twin of your design, right? Yeah, I'm done with it. So the next point is, I think it's very, that is something which people are getting confused with, but digital twin is much more broader in the sense where people want to do a predictive maintenance than go for a regular maintenance. And that is what we really talk about here. The simulations are no more used in only one phase, but you can use simulations in all the phases, starting with ideation, design, manufacturing, in product, in process, and everything. So where we are talking about ADAS, which is in your product, it is sitting. Simulation sitting in your product, based on the data you get, it reacts and applies the force on the brakes to stop the car. Digital twins are also sitting on your product to monitor your, as it goes, as your life of, like let's say I have a jet engine, have to monitor my jet engine so that I should know when should I go for maintenance instead of doing for regular maintenance, which is more costly, and I don't know whether it's going to fail before the maintenance or after the maintenance. So all these things, right? So here is a transformation. What you can see in product, the CAD. I think a lot of people are doing. I think product development, we can do 3D printing, additive manufacturing, and simulations. Product testing, a lot of people are doing, especially for ADAS nowadays. People cannot do the field testing. They need so many years to actually drive so many miles to test the cars. What they are doing is everything virtually tested. They have, they have the VRs, ARs, and all these things, and using machine learning techniques to adopt and test it, and then they're coming out to market with ADAS 2, 3, 4, 5 levels. Okay. In the product maintenance, which I was talking about, digital twins, and the knowledge management is also there. So this is one last slide of mine. That is what we are talking about. Oh, okay. Can you close it once? Yeah. So this is very important. We have our own courses, which is called AAC, ANSYS Innovative Courses, which help a lot of customers to adopt it. It's free. AAC is free. You can go through the courses. You can learn a lot of basics very easily and very it's actually tied up with Cornell University in US and a lot of universities throughout the world. And these courses are generated and they're very user friendly and easy to understand. Only if you want to buy badges or certification, that's when you have to pay, but the courses are free of course. And there are we are also tied up with IIT Chennai called IIT Pravartak, where we do 5G courses. It's a paid course. You can attend for it. And then other courses also. Okay, so this is what I will end with. This is what we all want to try and do it, right? The sustainability of your products, right? And have a environmental effect, social, consciousness. All this becomes very important. So you want to reduce your usage of material. With less amount of material, you want to make your products more and more efficient. And that's where only digital engineering can help you do this. Otherwise, it's highly impossible to stick to your deadlines, cost, and everything. It's not possible. I think with that, I will end my session. Thanks for your time.
Thank you, Karthik, for simplifying simulation. I like this comment, not doing simulation is not normal. That's a wonderful one. In my company, we say that simulation first and reality next. We have Mr. Venkat Subramaniam, Managing Director of Atom Technologies, to tell us all about an exciting subject. Quite a few of us are already using ChatGPT. Artificial intelligence as a subject has been around for decades now. But what is generative AI and how does one use this large language models which ChatGPT is talking about in our own day-to-day life and in our businesses especially. So Mr. Venkat is here to demystify all about AI ML to us. Thank you.
Greetings everyone. Thank you, sir. I take this opportunity to thank CII for having me here to talk about AI ML, which is the flavor of the globe at this point of time. Yes, actually I don't want to talk about that, but sir has raised that particular topic of ChatGPT. I've been a big favorite of ChatGPT type of stuff, but once we have gone deep into that, we know that it's sort of a fun-do type of a tool. Don't think that I'm arrogantly talking and criticizing, no. But thanking ChatGPT folks for making AI is a believable thing in the globe at this point of time. I really congratulate them on that. But AI, ML is much beyond ChatGPT type of tools. So I'm Venkat. Let me introduce myself. I am the CEO and co-founder of Atom State Technologies. We are incubated at T-Hub. We are strong technology partners for CII Center of Excellence. And we are also working along with many partners across the globe. We are a deep tech company focusing on providing solutions based on AI, ML. And this is the USP of ours. We don't go by the hanging in fruit type of solutions which we provide. We provide solutions based on your problem and your problem statement and your use case. In deep tech, until unless you have a really strong use case, you will not be really in a position to come out with an app solution. So this is where we are different to many of the biggies and as well as small sectors. So we dig deep, and we believe in providing scalable solution. When I said scalable, everyone talks about scalable. And second thing is, these days AI is becoming a fashion. People are started feeling that if they don't talk about AI, they feel that it's an identity crisis for them. Yeah, I mean it. Suddenly some organizations I have seen they have changed the name XXX.ai. But I don't know what sort of AI they are bringing. It means they are misleading the people. So this is where we have to be really cautious. Unfortunately, even some of the biggies and established organizations also got into this rut. But our strong background is DevOps. So DevOps teaches to say no. DevOps teaches to say no to automation. Where to automation? DevOps teaches to fail. So you need to experiment by applying chaos engineering and fail. Because until unless you fail, you will not really learn and scale up. So coming back to the key topic, artificial intelligence for MSMEs. Yes, that's the very, very important. Fact of the matter is, today morning, one gentleman was talking about 2+ crore MSMEs. And if these MSMEs alone support startups like us, half of your costing will be reduced. Let me underline with reading that. Lot of myth is there in the market. Oh, AI, ML, lot of costing. No, we can't afford. That's a myth. It's much cheaper, much economical, and bring a lot of finesse to your task. There's no doubt about it. Absolutely no doubt, we have proven that. I really thank CII here. I want to make a point out here. They have created a thing called Center of Excellence, CII Center of Excellence. This is really a boon to organizations, startups like us. Otherwise, I won't be talking here. Because they are the ones who have taken organizations like us to big organizations like Skoda, Vedanta, Kevin Care, which I wouldn't have even imagined a year back. Because these people will not even give time to us. Yeah, that's the psychological set, but I'm really thanking many of the corporates are distancing away from the traditional IT companies and coming to innovative companies. Because innovative companies don't do the body brokerage or mind brokerage. They do only innovation. Because they know that very well, they have to compete with the biggies, so they have to deliver best, which is cost effective, improve your efficiency, and bring best ROI. So, artificial intelligence should be taken as a use case based solution. For example, this gentleman is sitting like this gentleman is sitting like this, that gentleman is sitting like this. I have a use case here. I have a use case. I don't want to talk jargons here, but I just want to give a live examples. Mr. Riddiger is sitting like that. Maybe if I have an application here, I would have tracked him and said, your posture is wrong for your health, for your back. I will not take much time. I will not be involved in too many meetings to discuss that. It's just a small WhatsApp message report will go. So this is the use case. Why AI? Can anyone tell? For better life, simple as that. Right? Simple life, good life. Why good life? Don't carry your code home. Finish your thing fast. 6 o'clock you go home, your wife is happy. If your wife is happy, your life is happy. Right? So, AI is for better life. So you need to really identify whether it is manufacturing or for aviation sector or retail. AI is not specific for one particular domain or industry. So that is what our USP is. We remove all those blocks. So we go by the use case and understand what exactly the customer is having a problem. We don't even bother about what he is looking at, but that's our strength to identify and tell this is what you have to implement. So, look at his use case, be honest. So when we do the discovery phase, because we don't just like that provide a code to you or a data set model, we really do the discovery part, understand the gaps, understand your limitations in terms of manpower and skill sets. Since morning we have been talking about skill sets and all. Yes, agreed. But skill development comes from here, not from teaching. Say I'm a commerce graduate talking technology. It is not that I'm a grey hat fellow so I can talk. No, it's not like that. You have to have the application, you have to have the big heart to accept that you are not able to cope up, you need to learn. This is what AI really teaches. The moment you understand this, you come out with a proper knowledgeable thinking on those use cases. Types of AI models, one is ML, one is deep learning, NLP, NLU and computer vision. And now let's talk about MSMEs, SMBs. If SMB adopts latest technologies, cost-effective technologies, I mean to say, India's economy will really zoom, no doubt about it, because SMBs and MSMEs are the backbone of Indian economy. There is no doubt about it, because it generates more revenue than biggies. It generates, of course, collective, and it generates plenty of employment. By the way, if I adopt AI, I may lose the job. Please remove that from your mind. Absolutely not. It in fact complement you and make you to reach dizzy heights. There's no doubt about it. Your performance will improve. So AI is the way of living, way of understanding, way of moving. The moment you learn AI properly and apply properly, you will be the first person to apply on yourself about your body language. For example, if I am talking, one of my team members is sitting there, he might be noticing what is my body language, and by evening he will give me the report. Yeah, see, that is how. Right? Why the biggest use case which I am going to take, see, these are all cross industries, right from individuals, professionals like doctors and chartered accountants, scanning centers and labs, even auto platform facilitators, strong engineering industry, banking industry, finance industry, aviation. We are there everywhere. So what are the benefits? These are all simple gyan, but definitely efficiency will be improved. Once the efficiency is improved, the productivity will be improved. If the productivity is improved, you are in business, otherwise you are not in business. As simple as that, because it's a competitive global world. This is where AI play a major role. Cost reduction. Staggering cost reduction. For example, I know many of you are developing your own products, spending a lot of money on advertisement, marketing, and those marketing agencies and the advertisement agencies take your entire property to give something, and that too in time. You cannot depend on any, just like that, any Tom, Dick, Harry type of ad designer. You have to spend your a lot of time. So sometimes it may take even 3 months to come out with one ad, which has to be given in social media or in the print media. But with AI, we can generate an ad 30 seconds. Without a photo shoot, without a director, without a camera, without a script, and the fancy models costing, tantrums, right? So, by applying a strong prompt engineering, which is the most important element in any good generative AI content or images, anything. This is the biggest advantage for SMB sector. And today morning, one of the gentlemen was talking about common platform to reach out to the market. Yes, that was a humongous platform. But with AI, collectively 5 or 6 SMBs who are interested in technology can join hands together and may appoint people like us to come out with a platform where it will be friendly to really publish in social media marketing, so that that becomes a platform for the buyers and sellers. Really, you will be eliminating a lot of middlemen here, because you are directly trying to reach to the customer. Obviously, you will get away with your 50 to 60% costing. Middlemen, commission, and improved in decision making. This definitely improves because it improves your IQ. Because you will be start thinking a lot when you are learning AI. Until unless you know what is your problem, you will not be in a position to communicate the so-called consultant or an engineer that this is my problem, right? So enhanced customer experience. Absolutely true. In fact, we have got the great customer experience and earned customer delight with Skoda, with ICICI Bank, because which they are usually doing a particular task, which is taking about 8 to 9 months. What we have done is we have delivered that, and they started marketing in just 15 days. The advantage is that since we understood the problems, we done a lot of research for each and every sector. So we have done the pre-trained models. So when we go and solving the problem, we just train the model based on the use case and the requirement, so the delivery time is very quick. Until unless your delivery time is quick, you cannot go to the market quick. The situation is like that. Yesterday's newspaper is today's waste paper. At least yesterday's newspaper can be archived some reference purposes. But some of the products and the applications which you are thinking and taking time, by the time you launch, even before the launch, it becomes obsolete. We have seen that. That's the reason why 90% of the apps are flops. Second thing is market insights and trends. Yes, this is where AI will play a global role, major role. You will understand the insights, the market dynamics of today and tomorrow also. Then use your brain, apply. You develop a model in such a way that, boss, give me the market demand after 6 months. It gives you an insight. What are the challenges? Data quality and availability. Yes, data is the crux. Data is the problem everywhere. Nobody wants to share the data. Without data, it is very impossible to really move towards prosperous business. So, you have to have a proper data set so that the unstructured data will be cleaned as a quality data, and that data will be your data set model. So don't fear on sharing the data with someone. But here I would like to tell you something. When we interact with your data, we don't even touch your data, we don't even see your data. Only on the use case we assume something based on the inputs and we integrate that particular model to your data set. So your data is 100% secure. So that's the reason why banks are approaching us. Because for banks, why banks? For everyone, even for you, a small scale industry person, the bill of material is very important for a particular component, right? Then AI also can help you in designing app design. Why so many cars will be withdrawn from the market? Because of one small nut designing problem. This is where AI will bring finesse to your planning sessions. Then ethical and privacy concern, I have already told you. This is where tools like ChatGPT are scoring very bad. Samsung has literally almost removed so many people because of they have implemented ChatGPT, and within seconds their entire minutes of the meeting are gone. Third one is regulatory compliances. Yes, these are all very important. Then the biggest AI importance. One is in marketing, there's no doubt about it. And one is quick to reach market, no doubt about it. And this is the globalization of things. This is the globalization. A person who is sitting in Bhatinda also can sell to Britain, right? How is it possible without him knowing anyone? That's the power of AI. Globally, you have to compete with the global standards. Even for example, even if he is buying a shoe, a woodland shoe, definitely why he has bought a woodland shoe? Because of the quality. Why not on the platform types? Yeah. So, these are all the plenty of use cases. As I have already told you, we do nothing without the use case. So plenty of use, all these use cases, whether it is sentiment analysis, the customer stickiness, or customer loyalty, or your customer support mechanism. If you bring all these things, the global market and the big people will believe you because you have a proper process is inbuilt. And that too by using AI ML. And these are all the case studies. Call center operations is another one. We are making inroads into the global market. It's a real-time 24/7, 365 days. How do I improve the efficiency of my customer support team engaging with the customers? So we come out with an analysis and pinpoint this is where your people are failing. That's the reason why customers are changing the loyalties. Then of course, marketing team, it's a boon, literally boon. This is Wow India movement, scraping the data from various web sources, web points. Then we clean that. And this is a snapshot of a sentiment analysis of a political party. And this is the completely 100% true generative AI images by giving a prompt into it. We are also coming out with a Ramayana story for kids, farmer story. And this is a snapshot to really plan out surgeries and terrorist operations. And that's for the soda we did it. In fact, that small jingle has won us the contract. Because they have been spending about 3.5 billion for the global advertisement. And now it will not even cross Indian value 2 crores. Thank you so much. And thanks again for everyone patiently listening me. And thanks for this opportunity. Thank you.
To stay informed about the startup ecosystem, subscribe to MyStartupTV.
So now the topic is about funding MSME digitally. So we have a host of speakers here, where Mr. Suresh Mutyala, Mr. Himanshu, Mr. Shyam Prasad Garu, and Mr. Ahmed Khan. All are from different backgrounds belonging to the financial sectors. One is from a nationalized bank, one is from a startup, one is from SIDBI, and the other is from a nationalized bank. So I think we get to hear a lot of we get more information from them how the transformation is happening in the digital world and how that will accelerate the funding in the MSME sector. Welcome to you all, sir. And as we all know that, digital payments has become a very, a common thing for us. I mean, I don't think we can survive today if we don't have a GPay or any kind of a UPI. And all thanks to demonetization is what I have to say, because that actually accelerated the digital payments. And I know a number of factors also have helped in bringing in an ecosystem where the digital payments have become so successful. So let's try to understand how we can utilize these the interfaces and all, which will help us in ease of doing our businesses in the MSME sector. I would like to invite Mr. Suresh Mutyala, sir, to share his knowledge on this.
Hey, hi. Thanks, Sarita, and good afternoon to all of you. It's really a tough task to stand in between you guys and lunch and still make the presentation interesting. So nevertheless, I'll try to keep it fast and as interesting as possible. So okay, let's get on with the presentation. Just to give you a background of what's happening in India and the corporate world. Okay. It's not. Which one? Okay. So, looking at the Indian landscape, I mean, it's no big secret. I mean, all of us know it that we are the fastest growing economy. We're growing at the rate of 7.8%. Our exports are growing at 14%. Our GST collections are going through the roof. UPI transactions, I mean, all of us know are growing at almost 82%, and it's a global phenomenon now, in the sense that all the leaders are coming into India, watching how this is growing. We've got the third largest unicorn base with about 108 unicorns. Only 2 countries are ahead of us. And our public cloud service, which is just an indication of the kind of compute power as well as the storage that we get investing in, that's going through the roof, and it's slated to hit about $13.5 billion by 2026. So all these are going for India. Sorry, a little bit of alignment has gone, I think, just between the... but what does it mean for the corporates in India? So I think this corporate landscape also is changing quite a bit. There is significant improvement in financials in the last 2 or 3 years that we have seen. There is robust financial capital inflow that is happening. The China Plus One strategy, which is essentially that all the FDI that was happening earlier, we used to get sucked in by China. Now the world has realized that we need an alternative to China. So this China Plus One strategy is actually favoring us. So there's a lot of capital flowing into us. Conglomerates, the large corporates are really acquiring more and more corporates, more and more companies. They're betting on consumption, which is retail, infrastructure, and the renewable energy part. And thereby, so what does it mean for SMEs is that there is a shift in focus from just chasing working capital earlier to building efficiencies in the supply chain, both upstream and downstream. So this is also resulting in delivery efficiency that is happening across, and then there are new solutions that are coming in from fintechs, And large corporates are also eyeing end customer facing businesses, because today digital also implies that you can cut off the intermediary in between and directly face your customer, so that you can actually have end-to-end flows. So again, like I said, it's all, this is not the end of it. We are poised to grow faster. There are a bunch of numbers here. I mean, all of them just to prove the point that the winds are favoring us. There is enough and more tailwind that's favoring us. I would like to focus on the right hand side of the slide, which is the corporates on the banks part. Corporates and banks thankfully have a very synergetic and symbiotic relationship. There can be no situation when our customers don't do well and the banks do well, or vice versa. So banks and their customers go hand in hand. So you can see that while the corporates ratios are all improving, the banks ratio also simultaneously improving. So debt to equity is improving, debt to assets also increasing, cash to asset ratio is also improving for the corporates. Thereby NPAs and the provision coverage ratio also for the banks also improving quite a bit. So these are the foundations of a very buoyant economy, and we are bound to grow better. So the MSME landscape, again, this is no secret. The contribution of MSMEs is very large. They significantly contribute about 30% of India's GDP, 44% of the exports, as well as 45% of the manufacturing output of India is contributed by MSMEs. And hence the India growth story is fairly robust. The MSMEs are also growing fairly fast. In e-commerce, they are growing at a CAGR of about 20%. Credit to MSME, which was earlier a big question mark, that's also growing at 12% year on year. And the government has also infused about 90 billion rupees in the CGTMSE scheme. And digitization is happening quick and fast. I go to my first slide where I said that the public cloud consumption of India is growing at the rate of 23% per annum, which means that it would not have happened without MSMEs adopting digitization as a means to grow. So today 72% of the payments are done digitally. This also has ramifications in the credit cycles that you give out your vendors, or you make payments to your suppliers too. Yeah, 53% of the MSMEs are also adopting digital sales platform, which means that again MSME is also reaching out to customers directly. Again, the intermediary is cut out here, and even the government e-marketplace, which is their transactions also stood at about 15 million. So all things are very favoring well. Just to again give you some numbers on why we are still poised to go greater. I'd like to focus on the smartphone users. The number of smartphone users by 2028 in India is supposed to be hitting about 1.2 billion. Why does this number of 1.2 billion, why is it interesting? It will roughly be the total number of adults in India, which means that by 2028 we think that there are going to be only smartphones, and feature phones are going to go out of vogue. Even as of now, almost every adult in the country has a mobile number, which is a mix of, I think 60% of it is smartphone and 40% is feature phones. So digital payments, again, while the whole globe is supposed to grow, is slated to grow at 12%, we would grow at 35%. Even as we stand today, 1 out of 4 digital payment transactions that happen in the world emanates out of India. So that's the kind of contribution that we make. All of it is propelled by the internet penetration, which is again propelled by the cheap data. We are one of the cheapest countries for data. I think only Israel beats us in terms of the cost there. And earlier, about 20 years back, there used to be this huge debate. How will we bridge the India-Bharat divide, the rural-urban divide, or so to say, etc. But I think internet is breaking that barrier also down. So today, 40% of the smartphones are actually bought in rural India than India. And if you look at the sales figures of either Amazon or Flipkart, if they actually, during their big Indian Day sale or the Great Indian Sale, etc., most of the sales are actually recorded for Tier 2, Tier 3, Tier 4 cities. So it's no more just an urban Tier 1 story. So this is going really deep. And hence, the India stack, which is on the outer layer, which is the digital public infrastructure, this again is a buzzword of late, which is a combination of Aadhaar, of your UPI, ONDC coming in, etc. So all these government initiatives are taking shape, and there is a middle layer where they are, corporates like yours or MSMEs or corporates which are innovating in the market and to fulfill the customer need, which is really at the core. So all of this stands on four basic tenets, which is presenceless, which means that the customer need not be present physically. Earlier, for everything and anything, and I'm sure banks also been a party to it. We used to call you to the bank, make you sign 4 papers, if not more. And then only process your transaction. Today, all these authorizations are happening, online. Then it is paperless. Their digital records can move from one place to another. Earlier, I'm very sure all of you have noticed how photocopying shops have gone out of the window. In the sense that when we were studying, you could find a photocopier shop around every corner. Right? Today we don't even, we have to search for the photocopying shop. So that is because nobody is wanting any paper these days. It's all digital record. And we've democratized payments thanks to UPI and other payment systems that we implemented. And also consent, which is the latest one off the block, the account aggregator as well as the other initiatives also have made consent also digital. So all these things are again favoring us, and hence we also come out with digital solutions to cater to every requirement of a small and medium enterprise. It could be just a simple bank account to manage their transaction. It could be payment collection solutions. We have got platforms like e-bank guarantee, easy pay, etc. I'll cover that in a bit. Working capital solutions. Primarily for lending today. Many of the MSMEs are actually pre-approved, so it's actually a matter of 2 clicks before you get your working capital there. The bigger one is the import and export services. Earlier, import and export services meant that you need to have a dedicated team sitting in your office to track remittances. The moment the remittance comes in, somebody has to actually go to the bank, do all of that. We've digitized all of that. It's all online, so I can touch upon that in a bit. Then reconciliation services, or even we also understand that sometimes you are also looking for platforms for growth to find customers, etc. Those solutions also there, and there is personal banking. I'm sorry for the misalignment. I'm upset there, but that's all right. So we've got a whole gamut of solutions catered to every requirement of MSME, and all of this is not again a cumbersome thing. It's all available on your mobile. It's called InstaBiz, and what we call as the business banking, the super app. It has lending solutions, merchant solutions, trade and forex, payment collection, tax. Everything that you would possibly want to do in a bank is actually available at the flick of a button. That's available on the app. And not only that, even availing of loan can be as instant if it's pre-approved. Even if you have to call one of our bank officers to open your account, the onboarding is again very, very simple. We got a smart form wherein we don't take too many documents. All the data is fetched through all the available APIs of Aadhaar, NSDL, etc. We tag you, in a geographic tagging also is possible, and accounts are opened rather much more faster than what used to happen earlier. And for merchants, there is actually a definitive solution. There is a super merchant account where again instant onboarding can happen, and if your collections is more than 1 lakh rupees per day, you can actually take the super merchant account. The transaction can also be very easy in the sense that Easy Pay can be enabled again through InstaBiz on the mobile app. Credit can be availed, and we also have an easy online store to help you with growth, etc. So the impact of it has been that our merchant spends have been growing. People who've taken our merchant solutions are growing very, very fast. You seeing the turnovers grow at the rate of almost 61%. Bulk payments, again, big pain area, because you are trying if you have to make many transactions or many payments in one go, Earlier you used to do one transaction at a time. Today you can club all the transactions together and shoot one approval and everything goes. And even the narration is actually customizable. Sometimes you make a transaction and 6 months later your child account will call you and say, sir, what's this transaction all about? So you will not remember that. But here with these solutions you can actually customize your own narration and so as to make it easier to retrieve your records. Electronic DG is another innovation from ICICI Bank. Bank guarantees are typically pieces of stamp paper that is passed on from hand to hand or bank to bank. We've digitized that also. You can initiate your bank guarantee electronically. You need not go to any bank. I mean, you can upload the format and then the bank will transact it. And if the beneficiary is also willing to take it through the NASL route, we can also provide that so that everything is paperless end to end. There are instant lending solutions also that we offer. It could be pre-approved, it could be do-it-yourself journeys. All can start from our mobile application as well as the corporate internet banking that we have. And we try to make it as easy as possible. In fact, people who have registered with GST and their GST records are available online, those can be pulled instantly and an instant approval can be given. I mean, even if you do not have any relationship with the bank earlier. These are the steps that are involved in availing that. Cross-border transactions, like I was saying earlier, when there was a remittance, and when you have a flash sale, go to the bank, submit papers, and then wait for the right time for the right exchange rate in your opinion to hit upon, etc. And all of it used to take 2 to 3 days. Today it's all online. I mean, so 95% of inward remittances for ICICI Bank customers actually get settled online, which means that the customer does not need to visit the branch. All the declarations are taken online, and if KYC compliant, we actually credit the customer immediately. You can give these options of you can choose a target exchange rate also in some of the cases where we give you you can say that okay, when the rate hits this exchange rate at let's say 83.85, you please convert my money. So you could even do that. So all these solutions do exist. Again, we made it very easy. We are one of the first banks to actually digitalize most of these import and export transactions. There are embedded solutions. If you are using an ERP, you can do a host-to-host integration, or we have plugins immediately available. If you have to use Tally, for example, the plugin that is available and you can put in your bank account, which means that you initiate the transaction in your system, which is Tally. The bank automatically takes the instructions and executes transactions and makes it easier, which is earlier two different systems which do not talk to each other. The benefit of it, the big benefit of it is, we need not do the same transaction twice, once in Tally and then another time in the bank account. Two, there is auto reconciliation that happens between the two systems. So these are embedded solutions which you can avail of, and hence we call this as a universal app for your business on the go. So what we are essentially doing is we get the entrepreneur free of all free of the headache or hassle of dealing with the bank and going to the bank and do reconciliation, etc., so that they can concentrate on purely business development themselves. And not only this, even your personal financial needs are available in one click. Okay, so we have iMobile for, I think the alignment is all gone. I can do it. So all the times, so we have iMobile for personal banking requirement, which is rated as one of the best banking apps that's available today, and the testimony to that is that we have a bunch of awards, and we are not the only award, we keep receiving awards, but we always continuously strive to cater to your requirements. So that's all I had to say. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. That was a very informative session. So in fact, we have covered a whole spectrum of finance, from B2C to B2B to instant OD and import and export finance. I haven't found a point where I can ask you a question. Thank you so much.
Respected panel members, team CA Telangana and participants and all MSME entrepreneurs. Good afternoon. I know it's lunchtime. Good afternoon. Yeah. In Union Bank, is there no? In Union Bank, we are having centralized processing centers for doing this MSME credit appraisal in the name of MSME loan points. So I'm heading one of the MSME loan point in Hyderabad. So the initial process, whenever any MSME client comes to us for this loan, so the initial thing is that we'll have a one-to-one interaction. So we'll discuss with them what is their credit requirements. So we are working on a brick and mortar system. So customers looking for MSME loans, they approach our branches. Either they approach our branches or we approach the customers to promote our products. So like today I'm here to approach you for your MSME loan requirements. If any of you approach me today here for loan requirement, it's not through digital because the topic here is on funding MSMEs through digital. So it's not digital if you approach me here, it is through CII. So in the process of this loan appraisal, so we take all your data like your project report, audited balance sheets, your GST returns, and all such data we take, and my team at MLP, MSME Point, we process it and we'll take a decision whether to go ahead with that loan or not. So mostly it's a conventional way of doing any credit decision. So how many of you approached any bank for working capital limits or any MSME loan? Any of you approached? So you might be aware of this process, giving CMA data, audited financials and all, GST returns and all. So interestingly, in the last 2 to 3 years I can say, so at Union Bank we have digitalized a few of our MSME loan products. When I say digitalized means, you don't need to approach any branch or you don't need to approach any office of Union Bank. Simply there is a link available in Union Bank website or Union Bank app. So you can go through that link, give your details, the initial, you can log in through your mobile number and email ID, give your KYC like your Aadhaar, PAN card, and after that your financial data like your audited balance sheets, GST returns, IT returns. So with this and give your requirement like which loan you require, you require term loan or working capital limits. With this system in the background, run your this eligibility check based on predefined algorithm. If you are eligible based on the decision rule, you will get the sanction immediately and instantly. And the good thing here is that you can do documentation also. So there is an e-documentation facility available. Once this is done, your account will be credited with this loan amount. So now this is all the digital things that we are doing at Union Bank. As I said, for digital process, we named it in Union Bank as a straight-through processing because it's just straight. You can approach the bank through internet. So in the straight-through processing, we have 3 stages. Like you're getting in-principle approval. That means based on the information that you have given, so you will get a prima facie in-principle approval. So it's not final approval, but you'll get in-principle approval. With this in-principle approval, you can approach any branch which you, as per your convenience. So the particular branch will do the further processing and you will get the final approval. That is for in-principle approval. And there is a stage you can reach up to sanction. So for loans up to some 25 lakhs to 50 lakhs. So based on the information that you submitted in the system, you will get the sanction letter itself. So that is up to sanction. And there is a few products where you can go up to disbursement stage also. So if your loan doesn't require post-sanction, there is no interaction is required with the branch. So you can do e-documentation. Your loan account will be released and your account will be credited with that amount. So that is the disbursement stage. That is complete end-to-end. The in-principle is like initial thing, and sanction is I can say up to 75% you reach, and disbursement is complete 100%. So all these 3 things are available with Union Bank. So through this straight-through processing, we are offering now 4 products. One is the MSME loan in principle up to 5 crores. Another one is GST gain. So based on your GST returns, you will get a loan up to 25 lakhs. This is through instantly through our link. And another one is to promote women entrepreneurs. We are having a scheme called MajorSunilShetty. Though under MajorSunilShetty we do up to 10 crores funding, but through this digital mode we are doing up to 10 lakhs. And of course you all you know Mudra loans up to 10 lakh for Mudra loans. The customer now no need to approach any branch. It's simply through this portal you can get the approval. So first I'll discuss on this in principle approval, how one MSME unit can get 5 crore loan of this in principle approval. Please open.
ऐसे कैसे स्लो हुआ सर, जब हमारे दिन हुआ था हमने क्या हुआ है सर?
हाँ, yeah. So in principle up to 5 crores for MSME units.
कॉन्टेक्ट में जाके नहीं होता सर, वो आप सेगमेंट वाइज में जाइए.
So this is the link for MSME units. It's available on MSME Union Bank website. Once you go through this link, so there it will ask you you are a new client or existing customer. That means you are having any account with Union Bank, you are existing customer, and if you are not having any, you are a new client. So if you are a new client, go to that new client, new customer, and give your phone number and email ID. So with that, you will get OTP. That means that's authenticating your just like your mobile number and email ID. So after that, system will ask you to provide your basic KYC details like your Aadhaar, PAN card. That's the basic KYC. And after that, your IT returns. And if your business unit is having audited financials, you need to upload these audited financials by linking with ITR portal. You don't need to physically upload these PDFs. It is integrated with ITR portal, income tax filing. So from that, you need to download it, and here you need to upload it in Union Bank website. And after that, again, it is integrated with the GST returns. With your GST user ID and password credentials, you need to give upload all your GST filings in Union Bank website. And your bank statement. If you may be having bank account with any other bank, that statement of for last 6 to 12 months you need to upload. So that means you are giving your basic KYC, your audited financials, and your GST, and your bank statement. So with this, my system will run your eligibility criteria, how much sales you have done in the last 2 to 3 years, and whether it is matching with the GST returns, and whether you may be making 1 crore sales with the GST, but whether that 1 crore is credited in your bank account or not. What's your CIBIL score? What's your CIBIL score of your company, your firm? So with all these things, my system will run through a decision rule. If you are eligible, then system instantly will give you in principle approval. With that in principle approval, you can approach so this is one snapshot of that in principle approval. You will get it like your credit facility, amount, and tentative rate of interest, and all other basic terms of a loan. So with this, you can approach any of my branches and you can go ahead with the further processing. This is about in principle approval. And what is the advantage with this? The advantage is that quicker response. That means instantly you are getting one in principle approval, and just in 30 minutes, entire process will be done. So you don't need to approach any branch. By sitting in your factory, in your firm, in your office, you can do this, and within 30 minutes you will get the in principle approval. And what's the benefit for a banker is that I'm getting your ITRs, your audited balance sheets, and your GST returns. These are all directly downloaded from respective portals. So I don't need to check whether your audited balance sheet, whether it is really genuine or not, whether your GST returns are genuine or not. So for me, it's easy to do the due diligence. For me, it's easy to know what's your CIBIL score, what's your credit history, what's your banking transactions in the last 1 year. So it's easy for a banker to take a decision. So that's all about getting an in principle approval. And another scheme is in the name of Union MSME GST gain. It's simply based on your GST returns, we fund working capital limits. Actually, under GST gain, we are doing up to 5 crores. That means manually, see, if you approach any of my branches, we'll do 5 crore. But if you want this loan through digital channel, digital mode, again, the link is available in Union Bank website or in our View Map, Union Bank app. So with this app, in this scheme with the link, maximum you will get up to 25 lakhs based on your GST returns. So you have to upload, so the remaining things are same. You have to, once you enter into this link, you have to give your basic KYC details, upload your financials, and upload your last 12 months GST returns. So based on your last 12 months GST returns, my system will calculate what's your level of operations in your firm and how much you can, we can see whether the last 12 months whether the trend is increasing or the trend is decreasing. If it is increasing, that means yes, your business is doing good. So whether your in the last 12 months, whether your business is seasonal or not. So everything system will check, and based on your GST returns, the system will sanction your loan. Again, here it's only a working capital limit. We'll do in the form of OD and cash credit limit. So to meet your day-to-day business requirement. So maximum will be up to 25 lakh, and all constitutions like individuals, proprietary partnership, LLPs will get loan based, are eligible, and the margin is only 20%, and there is no collateral is requirement because we cover this loan with CCTMSC, so no separate collateral is required. Those customers who want 25 lakh loan working capital limit, so they can avail this scheme. So we have another 2 products in the name of MajorSunilShetty and Mudra loan. In these both loans, we do up to 10 lakh. Again, the link is available in our Union Bank website. The process is same for all these products, though the amounts are varying. So you have to log in with your, register with your mobile number and email ID, upload your KYC and all your IT returns and bank statement. System will do the calculations and give your eligibility. So these all things are available in Union Bank website. Definitely, I hope you will enjoy these credit facilities. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Shankar. I have a small question for you, sir. Yeah. So in the GST, you mentioned that you can approach the portal and obtain loan up to 25 lakhs. But so what would be the turnaround time for any of these sanctions?
Turnaround time you are asking through digital mode?
Yeah, through digital mode.
No, everything will be completed in 30 minutes.
No. What you're saying is you get the in-principle sanction.
No, in principle is for 5 crore. There are 4 schemes. If you want a MSME loan up to 5 crore, so the first one is that where you get in principle approval.
That's only for the first one, not the rest.
No. For all the schemes, so everything will be completed in 30 minutes. Max time is 30 minutes. For that, if you want a loan up to 5 crores, initially you will get an in principle approval, and after that, since it is a bigger amount, so with the in principle approval, you can approach any of my branches and you can go for further processing.
Exactly. So
for GST gain of 25 lakh, so everything will be done through internet only. You don't need to, yes, everything. Okay. So everything will be done in 30 minutes.
That I understood. So my question again is, in the in-principle mode, suppose you have a sanction letter, say for around 4 crores.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Once you approach the bank, how long will the bank take to process?
Yes, ma'am. So it depends upon the quality of the data that you submit. See, most of the time, what we see is that the data that you submit, like CMA data, project report, and say for example, you are approaching a bank for a term loan. Say for example, you are establishing a manufacturing unit or some service unit. So you approach a bank for term loan. So we need to know for the basis for the term loan is that project cost. So we need to know what is your project cost. So arrange the project cost, we will ask you all quotations, like what machinery you are going to purchase. So it's all the data that you submit. Once we get, and if you are offering any property, see up to 5 crores again we'll do under CCTMSC, we don't require collateral. And you want lower rate, you can offer collateral. If you are offering collateral, then we need, we engage this work for legal and valuation work. If legal takes time, then if legal and legal reports, valuation reports, and CMA data project report, quotations, everything available. Mostly it takes 7 working days.
So you mean to say the in-principal accelerator will actually verify the credentials of the promoter?
Yes.
But again, it's all based on the rest of the documents.
I can say, ma'am, if you got an in-principal approval, means it's half done. So your 50% of the work is done.
Okay, subject to other documents.
Yes, so it's like you got the you can avail this 5 crore loan subjected to fulfillment of all other terms and conditions. So I can say it's half work done.
Okay, thank you, sir. Thank you for it. So now I request Mr. Ahmed Khan take up the give us presentation.
Thanks, ma'am. Thanks, CII, our esteemed panel, and dignitaries and guests for giving me this opportunity. I would say this one slide alone summarizes the spirit of this summit, and I'll clarify that in the next couple of slides. SME 360 Accelerator. I mean, let's begin with the theme of the summit itself, making MSMEs future ready through digital transformation. I think it largely can be summarized with these 2 approaches. I mean, one is afford digital funding, and thanks to my colleagues before me who spoke in length about the digital funding spectrum, the scope of the products, the timeline, the quantum, and everything. So I'll go and keep it a little quick. So digital funding, I would say it's addressing the problem at hand. It's addressing that scenario that is at hand. While the larger solution is actually having a virtual 360 consulting platform, right? I believe in the spirit of the summit, making MSMEs future ready, it's not just addressing the problems at hand, it's also addressing the problems that are along the journey that would make this independent, unmaneuvered, unguided SMEs or MSMEs into high growth companies that could potentially be capable of, say, an SME listing or an PE fundraise. Today, SME is the quantum, or the MSME is the quantum, or the